Hey guys, welcome to Nifty World. I'm Bex, and in today's video I'm speaking to the founder of Purple Penguins, an NFT with a big cause but also a big ambition. They're not just an NFT, they're also a cryptocurrency and also a step into the metaverse at such an early stage. So if you're an NFT creator and wanting to learn just how to do all those three things and also have an amazing cause behind you, then make sure you keep watching this video interview. Don't forget to like this video, click that subscribe button, and of course hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a beat when a new video drops. But for now, let's dive right in. Okay, so joining me now is Kevin Lawson, who is the CEO, the founder, the big dog, the guru behind Purple Penguin, which is not just an NFT, but there's a whole kind of blockchain, metaverse, crypto side of this. This is a big, big project that you're working on, Kevin. So thank you so much for joining me today. Really great to have you here on Nifty World. I'm going to start by just kind of delving into your sort of first move into the world of NFTs and crypto and blockchain, because you're a relatively early adopter of crypto, I suppose, to some extent, and kind of familiarizing yourself with that. But your background is in like brand building and events. So this all feels like a bit of a natural next step for you in your career, is it?
Yeah, once I found NFTs, it really felt natural to get involved. And thanks for having me up to talk as well. So with NFTs and blockchain, I was working in gaming and esports. I was running conferences for a company called the Tech Society. And one of our divisions was the Blockchain Society. So I was responsible also for emceeing some of their events and helping with some partnerships that occasionally made sense. Say a blockchain gaming company was one of the esports companies we were talking to. We would run conferences and introduce networking with venture capitalists and Fortune 500 companies and CPG brands. So that was how I got reintroduced into blockchain in around 2018. And then NFTs, I really got into collecting those in, say, February. I found NBA Top Shots and a company called Ecomi who runs the VV app. So if you're familiar with VV, I know that you're familiar with the guys in Junkyard Dogs, and that was actually how we met and became friends, was through collecting through the VV app. So it was really part of like being in the community, collecting, and being in a history of building brands and seeing the potential of what's possible through blockchain technology and taking my experiences from gaming and concert development and brand development into a digital platform.
Yeah. And did it surprise you? I mean, coming into the world of NFTs, like in February, that's quite early, you know, for a lot of people who are just sort of stepping into it now. Has it sort of materialized in a way that you think was surprising, or is it actually like, you're like, yeah, this is absolutely the next step that this technology needs to go down?
I really believe in this technology. I think it's going to affect every industry. I've spent a decade organizing concerts and festivals prior to getting into gaming. And I'm also a painter and an artist. So having experience in multiple industries, I just see it all coming together. And I can also see this coming into spaces like, you know, cart maintenance and car sales, house deeds, your doctor records. All of this stuff can be authenticated, time-stamped, and made transparent. So there's no reason that this doesn't affect almost every industry and become literally the biggest industry or the biggest technology shift in potentially our timeline since the internet. Really, I would say this is the next biggest thing that has happened in our experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And I think like, even if you're just watching this video now, you're really early to this space, which is just such an exciting time. I always kind of liken it to kind of Bitcoin 10 years ago and kind of going, you know, we're at that cusp and we're at that moment. And, you know, there's so many of us who go, damn it, I should have been there with Bitcoin at the beginning and rode the wave. And, you know, hindsight's such a wonderful thing, but I'm really excited to be having a bit of skin in the game now with it, because I think it's such an exciting technology. I completely agree with you. So when you decided to kind of build and invest in this space, you didn't just dive in and go, look, I'm an artist, I enjoy the idea of NFTs, I might put out like, you know, just the odd NFT art and dip my toe in. You went, no, I'm going to do a whole kind of way. What the way it's described on your website is you created a charity-driven blockchain entertainment company. Okay, so that's quite a big plethora of things that you're doing. So let's start from, I suppose, let's start from the very simple bits, which is the NFT itself. So you've created some very cute, family-friendly NFTs, but this is an NFT with a cause at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. So really our main goal with this is to give back to the people that support us by investing in our company and having our token and our NFTs, which you know, they do appreciate and value quite often. There's no guarantee of that happening, but in the industry, we've seen a lot of extremely fantastic growth from different companies and ways for them to reward their community members. So we see a value in connecting to our community members through hosting concerts and stuff. We've learned that without your community, it doesn't exist. Nobody comes out. So we really like the idea of being able to give back to the people that support you. But then also we wanted to give back to the environment, because we know that the environment is a big topic of negativity around blockchain and NFTs. And we wanted to shine a light on it's not all that bad, and there are ways to use this technology in a positive way. So we found a way to connect to a company called Project Arc, which is a company run by World Wildlife Fund and Carbon Base. And they have helped us make our NFTs carbon negative and helped us connect to some environmental conservation organizations so that we can both offset our carbon emissions and donate to the environment, making our NFTs actually carbon positive and giving a positive impact on the environment. So we kind of refer to them as impact NFTs. It's a way that you can feel good about what you're purchasing and make it about more than just yourself. And the art that we have created, as I said, is very cute and family friendly. Our team, they're a company called Mercenary Art Studio, and they've drawn for Marvel and DC Comics and Upper Deck and all sorts of amazing products that you've seen over the years. So they really understand character development and creating a story. And with our product, our idea was to have our penguins go on an adventure and learn about other animals that are also endangered in other climates, so that we can, you know, create a meta world and connect people to climates that they may not get to experience, and help animals that they, you know, everybody has a favorite animal that they want to love and help. And this is a way that we can create multiple NFTs for people to connect to, and connect to animals and connect to the world that we live in, and really give back as to the greater cause.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, when a creator is thinking about setting up their NFTs, the thing that you have to consider, so that you're someone that is creating something that has longevity and a bigger vision, is to have some form of cause behind it. So, you know, when you've reached 10%, 20%, 30% of your roadmap, things get released, right? And you give back to that community. And I love the fact, because it's so topical, is that you are very much thinking about the environment. You know, there's others that think about giving back to the industries they're in, like the music industry, or giving back to, you know, women's matters and things like that, which is great. So choosing the environment is a fantastic one, which I think will appeal to a lot of people. And it takes the idea of the NFT beyond the art itself when you're buying into a cause, which I think is as this space develops, it's going to go beyond the JPEG that everyone refers to, what we see. And it's actually what the community is and the reasoning behind that. And I think this is a really good example of that, because one of the biggest concerns in the space are what we call rug pulls, where people hype up massively the NFT hugely for the launch. They make their money and they run off. But what you're doing is giving us all the utilities almost up front, actually, with the metaverse and the idea of players you earn gaming and things like that, to keep us entertained throughout the whole process, which is fascinating to see, because it's a completely different approach. Why did you take that route to market with this?
Really, everything you just mentioned, the rug pulls, the non-trust, the companies that are just looking to make a quick dollar, and they're not really providing any value to anybody. So we wanted to be one of the first companies to come out that has a metaverse before we have an NFT. Everybody promises they're going to make a game, they're going to make merch, they're going to do all of these things, and for us, that just feels like false promises and ICO style. We're going to do all these things, and really, unless you've done them or you have any proof of experience, like when I come to investing, I invest in the person and in the team, right? So if the team, I don't believe that you can provide, or I don't know you because you're completely anonymous, it's very hard for me to believe that you're gonna make a game and you're gonna do all of these amazing, expensive, large endeavors, right? So for us, it was a way to prove our worth and prove that we are in this for the long haul.
Mm.
We started as a currency token, and we renounced our contract so that it's a community owned token to start. And that way people can trust us there. We've registered our company with the Canadian government, so we have to follow specific rules and guidelines. And that way, again, we literally cannot rug pull. I would go to jail if I did that. Um, and then to take it a step further than that, we also wanted to achieve these promises early. So we partnered with the Nemesis to build our metaverse, and we've had mini games that have already gone live, and people have already earned crypto by playing our mini games. And then behind the scenes, we also have our team, the Nemesis and Mercenary Art Studio, working on our games so that we can hopefully have this out by Christmas time, and people can be playing a game and earning money in a metaverse live whenever they want to. And
Mm.
it was really just a way for us to prove that we're in this for the long haul. And I've been hosting concerts for about a decade. So my first concert I had maybe 10 people. The most recent ones, we were over capacity, selling 3, 4, 500 tickets depending on the night that it is. And that all takes time, that all takes forethought, and really looking at the bigger picture of what it can be. And I really believe that through our metaverse and through our company, we can create entertainment through concerts, through live streams, both in real world and in the metaverse at the same time. So people overseas can be enjoying a concert that people in Toronto are experiencing in real life. And at the same time, we're all raising money and playing games and educating about climate change.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think though the what stands out to me by you reverse engineering kind of what everyone else is doing, where they're saying that the metaverse is in the distance and we're going to get to that, is it must have been a lot of upfront investment to get this going. So therefore the risk for you is a lot higher. So how do you let's look at that level of risk and look at kind of what you're doing in terms of building your community, making sure that people are hearing about this, and getting it out there in what is already becoming a very saturated space. What is it that, well, how are you doing all of that? Because it's fascinating.
It's a challenge. So the team is really small. It's mostly me and Chantel, my girlfriend.
Mhm.
I refer to her as my wife quite often, so you might hear a mix of terms that I call her. But it's really me and Chantel working on it together. We both have a lot of years of experience in marketing and brand development. She's a senior marketer for the Home Depot's head office,
Mhm.
and then I've got years of experience in event development, partnerships, community building, and it's really
But do
just the
you
two of
have,
us.
like the experience in like smart contracts and things like that? Like, or did you have to learn all of that to get to where you are and learn it very quickly because of all the areas that you're integrating?
That actually was really just through our partnership skills. So our initial contract for our token was written by a friend of mine that launched another currency on the Binance Smart Chain. So because I knew him in real life, I was able to trust him. And if he made any back end things, I could go to his house and knock on his door and be like, "Hey man, what was that?" So I trusted them, and we launched that together just to make it safe and secure. And then to be able to build our metaverse and create our NFTs, I personally don't know like Solidity coding and things like that. So it is a bit foreign to me when the language pops up on the screen and I'm looking at code. So we were able to partner with Project Arc, whose head of blockchain was actually the first person to mint an NFT on Polygon that was successfully able to show up on OpenSea.
Mhm.
So he's a whiz when it comes to blockchain tech and dealing with, um, making sure that everything is minted properly. And with their contracts, actually, they're able to mint their NFTs at a higher frame rate or a higher not frame rate, sorry, at a higher um, file size. So there's a lot of limitations when it comes to minting NFTs on a lot of platforms, but they're able to mint an NFT at any file size that we would like to. So we can do video and all sorts of unique things that I wouldn't be able to do if I was trying to learn this myself.
Mhm.
And then same with the Nemesis. I'm not a coder. I can't build a game, and it would cost us a lot of time and money to build a metaverse or a game of the same caliber that they've created. So really, through our partnerships and networking skills that we've developed over our careers in selling and being in sales and partnerships and event planning and stuff, we applied those, and it really helped us get ahead. And in this industry, we've found that everybody's learning, everybody is developing together, and everybody's willing to support each other, which is a really unique side of this industry that a lot of industries don't have, because everyone's established and it's more cutthroat. Whereas in this industry, everybody wants to see each other succeed. They want to see NFTs shine that light, and everybody to recognize what we're doing here and why it's unique and special. And everyone's willing to work together. So partnering with companies like Project Arc and stuff, if you have an idea and you want to create an NFT, reach out to other people. There are people here that will help you and help you get started. And there are people be careful, obviously,
Yeah.
but there are people that know how to code and know how to do all these things that will help you and want to see you succeed if you have an idea that they believe in, which if you believe in it, somebody else will.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it is a really unique time in this space. I think it will become more cutthroat in the
Of
future.
course.
Yeah, but right now, like, people are so generous. Like, you could put a question out on Twitter and like 10 people will come back to you and be like, hey, I can help you with that. And, obviously be careful, but as you say, but the generosity, or on the Discords or things like that, people are so willing to help. And we're all learning at this early stage just how this technology is going to evolve and change. So it's great to hear that you've used your in real life experience and pushed it onto the digital world. What would you say was the biggest challenge for you out of, say, the crypto side, the metaverse side, or the NFT side? Like, is there one that was really particularly tough?
So the toughest thing for us, our first idea was to create plush toys that were made by a company called Bears for Humanity. And we were going to be sending those out across the world as our NFTs. So you would buy the plush toy and the NFT was going to be a redeemable download. So I think for us, the logistics and figuring out exactly what we wanted to do, we wanted to be, we wanted to be educational. We wanted to help the planet. We wanted to involve kids because this was a way of extending a charity toy drive that my dad used to run. So it was a family tradition that we were trying to carry on. So we had a lot of ideas of what we wanted to do. We come from entertainment. We want to give back. We want to have a token. We want to have NFTs. We want to help artists.
Want to do a lot.
Yeah, but dialing it in and figuring out exactly what we want to do, that was our toughest challenge. And I think our biggest success moment was stripping it down a bit, focusing on just the games for now, and just getting the art out there and helping support the local artists through our art gallery that we have in our metaverse, working with what we have and then expanding over time and really realizing that we have a lot of ideas of what we want to do. There's a lot that we can do, which is the exciting part about NFTs, but stripping it down and focusing on what you can do now and how you can use that to create all your other goals was really the best successful and most challenging part of our company.
And and let's have a look at those goals, because those goals are what is going to give people I suppose the confidence in your long-term roadmap. And it's also the goals are the things that if you keep delivering, as you consistently are doing, that's where people want to stick with you. So what is how long do you see yourself within this space for? I mean, I know that's quite an open-ended question, but some people might very well be like, this is a 5-year thing, this is a 20-year thing. Like, you've got a massive cause behind this. So where do you see this growing and building, and what's that vision for you guys?
For us, the sky's the limit. I'm 34. I don't plan on retiring from this anytime soon. This is a really exciting new industry for me to get involved in. So I really don't see myself stopping this for easily 10 plus years. There's a lot of climates we can work with. We're already working with companies like World Wildlife Fund and Toronto Zoo, and we're artists who have worked for companies like Marvel and DC, and we've only been around since May. So if we've only been here for 4 months and this is what we're already doing, I think it's really what we're capable of is phenomenal. We'd love to work into getting this into a television show for kids where we can educate about climate change, and we have a tabletop game in idea, and there's all sorts of different things that we're just working towards achieving. So really for us, it's a matter of building out as many climate change opportunities as we can and taking this technology, and as it grows and changes, growing and changing with it, and innovating and working with Project Arc more deeply, because they also work with companies like National Geographic, and we have some ideas for NFTs that change with the environment. So say, for example, a coral reef or a glacier or something, you would own a part of that NFT, and as it changes over time, your NFT would also change over time. And
wow,
that would be through the Chainlink Oracle technology. So as things develop, there's new things we can bring into this picture, and we want to integrate with other metaverses, not just the Nemesis. So we can have, some people love sandbox and the 8-bit art stuff and the pixel art, so we can explore that side of things as well. There's a lot of opportunities within this. So I see us in this game for as long as this game exists.
Yeah. And how's the community reaction been? Because you guys have only been around since May, right? So you've got to build up a community, you've got to get people excited, you've got a lot of investment in Pebble and also, you know, in the metaverse and stuff. Like, how has the community reacted to it? And is it a slow burn, or is it actually, were you surprised at how much people are like, yeah, we're really behind this?
It's a bit of both. It's a slow burn because we've been developing both our token side of marketing and our NFT side. So people are finding out of us over time, but I find within the NFT space, the more you keep at it, the more you keep plugging, the more you keep pushing your name out there, people eventually catch on and like, these people aren't going anywhere. Let's give them a shot. And the people that have found us really do love what we're doing and believe in it because it is different. And as you mentioned, you know, we've already provided a lot of our promises. You know, we've already networked and partnered with a lot of major corporations who can help us achieve a lot of our goals. You know, the upcoming, we have a marketing campaign with a company called Chicken Waffle. They do VR and technology for companies like McDonald's and Spotify and Sony and Warner Brothers. So we're working with companies that I would never have pictured us to work with, and that really opens up the door for what we can do here.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, let's not forget, those little penguins are cute, right? So
they are adorable, and we really want to create a story around them and work with our community to tell their story. So with the three that we have now, the blue Galapagos penguin, their name is Manaki, and Manaki would be it means to cherish or to conserve. And the other penguin, the rockhopper's name is How, and How, the name means wind or wish. So we have a storyline where How hears about the environment through the wind and tells Manaki, who learns how to conserve and cherish, and they teach Pebble about the environment, and then they go on an adventure, and that's how they meet our game characters, which are called vagrant penguins. So in real life or in a penguin culture, when penguins get lost from the colony, they're called vagrants. So our vagrants are lost penguins. They're a little bit beat up, post-apocalyptic Mad Max looking, and those are the characters that you will collect as the 7,000 collection for the NFT game.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I had a little wander around the metaverse. I had a little wander around Nemesis before this interview, and obviously it's cold. There's lots of igloos. There's lots of ice. I didn't get very far because I was just playing around and just seeing what the world is like. I was impressed in terms of how it had been created and how sort of established it already was. What can we expect kind of coming up in the near future in Nemesis and the metaverse that you've created? And, you know, what will that do to kind of encourage new people to come in as well?
Yeah, so we have an upcoming campaign with Gamer Hash and the Nemesis, where we're going to be doing I believe it's a 2-week-long event. So it'll be a mini game run where top speeds will win NFTs, cryptocurrency from us and from Gamercoin. So there'll be a lot of prizes with that. That'll be a speed run event. So that'll be in the Nemesis in our metaverse in Antarctica. We are going to be adding another artist. We're just in talks with another artist about adding them to the gallery. So we should have another artist on display in the gallery. We're in discussion with some DJs about doing a live stream event and an interview during that speed run. So we'll have a loop running of a concert and an interview with us in the Nemesis as well. The Nemesis themselves, their companions are available. So that's their NFTs, their little robot characters that fly around with you. They're going to be releasing their battle mechanics really soon. So it's a turn-based battle system.
Yeah.
So really soon you'll be able to play that system in their games and upgrade your NFTs through Battle Arena. And then we're going to be using those Battle Arena mechanics for our games in the future as well. And I know that they're adding a lot of other NFT platforms to the Nemesis as well. So the Nemesis is like a multi-NFT multiverse. So right now there's us, there's Whelps, there's Deadheads, Slacker Duck Pond, Bonsai Trees. So there's like several different NFT platforms that exist. There's also the Doge Pound. So there's several different NFTs that exist in the metaverse in the Nemesis. And I know they're adding other portals for other NFT companies to join in as well. So it's a big family there, and it's really fun. If you get bored in one metaverse, you can pop into something else. And I know they're releasing a lot of really cool games coming up. And for us, we're going to be releasing more NFTs, and we're going to be also, once we sell 50% of our Gamer Pass NFTs, which give you early access to our game that we're releasing with the Nemesis, we're going to be looking at adopting a penguin with the Toronto Zoo and the Toronto Conservancy Society. Toronto Wildlife Conservancy. So that way we'll be able to actually have a real penguin, an actual Pebble the penguin that people can watch with their families and get to know the animal a little better.
Oh my God, it's so fascinating. Like the creativity that is coming from you is like, there's so much going on. Do you ever sleep? I mean, that's that's the
Honestly,
next
quite
question.
often our days run from about 8 or 9 a.m. until midnight, 1 a.m. just at the
Wow.
computer all day working on stuff. And we went out this weekend for the first time, over a year, mostly because of like lockdowns and things, but
Yeah.
it felt really good to get out after working so hard for so long. I feel rejuvenated and ready to get back to it.
Yeah, in the real world instead of in the digital world.
It
Yeah.
was really nice to see people. You forget how much you enjoy social interaction and how much it inspires you for things like what we're doing here. So weirdly enough, we met these guys at the party who are DJs that go by the name Space Penguins,
Ah,
and we're going to get them to play our metaverse as a party.
that's amazing. Oh, and it's amazing how NFTs kind of bring people together as well. And, and people can converse. And like when you're in the group, it feels like you're in an exclusive club as it is, just because,
Mhm.
not everyone knows about the world of NFTs, that actually there's that wonderful kind of connection that you have with people. And like we say, the generosity is definitely there, isn't it? With people willing to do things like, yeah, I'll play in your metaverse. Why not? It's,
It kind of reminds me of the Grateful Dead community that I come from before this. That was a really important part of me growing up, and in that community, there's a lot of like gifting of tickets and people looking out for each other and free shows, and it
yeah,
really reminds me a lot of that with the creativity that goes on and the way that there's derivative art. So like people will take the Grateful Dead logo and make artwork for it to sell it to get to the next party or to feed their family or whatever it may be. That's their career. And then in the NFT world, there's also the same thing. People take Bored Apes or the Junkyard Dog Skull Kids crossover and stuff. And there's a lot of artists that will do derivative art and they gift it to people, and it's all just to get to that next NFT. It's really similar. It's really unique to see culture crossovers that maybe not everybody kind of realizes, but it's this like underground community that exists in NFTs where everybody just wants everyone else to succeed.
yeah, absolutely. Now, it's really interesting though, because, as we're evolving in this space, obviously there is the aspect that people are very generous and they are gifting things to each other. But what we like to see, or speaking for myself as someone who likes to see organic growth and within an NFT, is there anything that you're seeing out there in the space that is concerning you, like maybe paid for influencers, being quite disingenuous and just sort of just taking the money and then saying this is the world's greatest NFT? Like, are there methods that you're seeing as you're learning and evolving that are kind of going, no, this isn't quite right for the space. This doesn't reflect what we're doing in the NFT space? I'd be interested to hear your opinions.
Yeah, of course. It's a very infantile industry, right? So that everybody's figuring out their space, everyone's trying to figure out ways to get word out, and of course there's going to be some corruption along the way. So like I come from a cannabis background as well. Actually, I was working in cannabis. It's legal in Canada as of 2017, and it's similar. It's very new. So there's a lot of companies that are pushing the boundaries of what they're allowed to do and bending rules. And same idea with this. Like there's influencers that are not saying that they were paid or disclosing they were paid. There's companies that have like 5 projects out at once, and how can you possibly provide any value to people if you have 5 different NFT projects out at once? It's hard enough to really provide value for one, let alone multiple things. You're just pumping out art to make money off of people. And
Yeah.
these are issues that we're facing. Something that I've seen recently is media, like fake media articles coming out that there was something recently with Walmart and Tezos. I know that's more cryptocurrency side of things, but there was a fake article that came out about Walmart and Tezos signing a contract together, and Tezos skyrocketed for about 20 minutes, and then it crashed really hard. So there's a lot of things like this where the transparency from the organizers, the marketers, just the industry, for being an extremely transparent industry, there are a lot of issues, but these things do come up. So I'm for a mix of centralized decentralization. Like I believe that decentralization is important, but we do need some sort of rules and regulation to it. Like that was part of why we registered as a company, so that people can trust what we're doing and we're not
Yeah.
going to go anywhere. Um, because I see a lot of stuff that is questionable. Like a lot of these organizers, I wonder how much experience they have really developing a brand, or if they just see an opportunity to make a quick buck and move on to the next part of their life, right? And
Yeah.
I don't blame anybody for doing what they choose to do. It's everybody's choice with how they choose to live, but to provide value to a community and really you know, somebody believes in you and they're willing to put their money in you,
Mm.
you should give them something back in return. And I don't
Yeah.
see that from everybody yet.
Well, we're seeing that also from not just a creator side, but a collector side as well. Creators can create all the hype around a launch, and they can, not do a reveal of the NFTs until, 48 hours later. So it's a fair playing field. But then someone will have a bot that swoops up like 1,000 of those NFTs, and ultimately the market's being manipulated. So I'm totally with you. I completely agree that there needs to be some sort of regulatory rules around this space to keep everything fair.
Like maybe you have to be doxxed and that's the minimum or something, right? Like
Yeah.
there's not to be extreme harsh rules and regulations. Like keep it open for the most part, but some small rules I think need to be implemented for
Like
everybody's
gentlemen's
safety.
rules. Yeah, just to make sure that everyone stays happy and enthused about this space, because I think it's always interesting speaking to creators like yourself about what you think are the right and what wrong ways of doing things, because ultimately someone new into this space has no idea. And a lot of people will go, look, I see this as a quick fast buck and I could pay off my house and all my debt if I sell X amount of NFTs. But actually for the growth of the space, we need to be doing things in a more collective, organic way that's just going to benefit everyone within the society, I think. So yeah, it's really interesting. I suppose for me, what is most interesting about what you're doing, obviously there is the cause behind everything, but I love the fact that you've gone all in and reverse engineered this and just gone, do you know what, we're going to do everything up front and and see how that goes. And it's, some people would be very apprehensive to do that. I think you've done a really smart thing by doing this, because if something doesn't quite work, you've actually got a fallback, right? So you've got the crypto side if the NFTs don't quite take off, or does it all depend on each other in order to work?
It all really, so the goal is to have it all depend on each other. The currency launched first as our introduction and launch pad of what we're going to do. We have plans to integrate a secondary token that's more scalable, like something related to more of the Ethereum network, because our current one is on the Binance Smart Chain, but we have plans to use both of our tokens for our community to grow. So if, say, for whatever reason, NFTs completely died, which I don't see happening, but if that did for whatever reason happen, we do still have our currency that we could fall back on, as you mentioned, and vice versa. If, say, the currency side of things becomes cracked down on from the government and you're not allowed to have, you have to have one or the other, we have our NFTs to fall back on as well. But really our goal is to have it all work together. We want to have it be where your NFT or the currency is your access to unique events in the metaverse or in concerts that we host. We want your NFT to be kind of like an exclusive club, but not completely exclusive, obviously. But we want to have it be like really your way to enter the world of the Purple Penguin and be part of our story along the whole way. So when you first get your first NFT, you get some Pebble, you get access to future airdrops of the tokens, which then decreases the supply, increasing the value of the tokens. So it all intertwines and works together. And really it's a way of we hope to have everything be, whether you own Pebble or you own the NFTs, you're part of our growth. And that way we can really work with everybody. And that way, say you want to just support our cause by buying an NFT through the Project Art Gateway, where you can use credit card that they're coming out with, because you believe in the cause, you can buy the NFT and you don't have to get involved in the gaming and the cryptocurrency side. If you love the NFTs and the gaming and all of that, you can be in this world as a gamer. If you love the currency side and you could care less about an NFT and you think it's a scam, you can invest in the tokens and you don't have to worry about the NFTs. And that way we can really capitalize on what this industry is capable of and really make it about more than just one aspect of our company, and more than just the investor or just the animals or just the climate or just us.
Just you. I think that's a really smart way of looking at it, and I think there's not enough creators out there thinking of it in that way. And I think it's a really visionary and innovative way of like getting as many people involved in your space, should we say, within the NFT and the crypto and the metaverse space as you are, because it's really inviting to lots of different people. Just to finish off this interview, I'd love to ask, what advice now learning what you've learned over the last few months, what advice would you give to people that are new in this space in terms of being creators and have a cause in mind and wanting to create, you know, an NFT or some crypto or, you know, something around that? What would be your biggest learnings and advice for them?
For me, my biggest my biggest experience in learning and my biggest step forwards came from getting involved in the communities. I met Project Arc through buying an untamed elephant, which introduced me to the sewer rats, where I met somebody in Discord who introduced me to Project Arc. The Nemesis we met by buying a Slacker Duck Pond NFT and meeting their founder who introduced us to the Nemesis. So really get involved, meet the people, build your network, because they're going to be the people that also invest in you and buy your NFTs, right? They may like the art, but at the end of the day, it's you and your ability to pull off your vision that they're investing in. So you need the people to know who you are. You need them to meet you, and you need to meet them, because they can help you. They can introduce you to people. So really just get in there, get involved, learn, whether that's through buying a couple NFTs, hopping in some Discords and just chatting, but really you have to put the time in if you have the idea. But there are people that really want to help you succeed and see it happen. And if you have an idea that you want to, you know, even myself, if you have an idea that you want to see succeed and you don't know how to do it, shoot me a message. If I'm around, I'll gladly respond and introduce you to somebody if I know the right person to make it happen. And I think that that's something that's really cool about this space, is everybody wants your idea to come to life. So remember that when you're creating your idea. Don't be down on yourself and say it's not going to work, because you can make it work.
You absolutely can. This is an exciting time for creators and collectors alike. So, you know, just do it. I think.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that all of Kevin's details and everything that you need to know about the metaverse, the cryptocurrency, the pebbles, the penguins, everything is all going to be in this description box. So Kevin, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really interesting to hear about your project. I wish you every luck and success for it in the future. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I'll catch you in the metaverse very, very soon. Well, there you go. I wasn't joking when I said they had a huge ambition. Well, it is so admirable to see the authenticity, the organic build-up, and so much more. Purple Penguins has a very, very bright future, not just for themselves, but for the planet as well. So I really hope you learned a lot from this video. Take the time to please do like this video, give it a subscribe, and of course, hit that notification bell. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Nifty World there too. Thanks so much for watching. There's loads of great other videos on the channel that will help you on your NFT journey, so make sure you check those out as well. But for now, thanks so much for watching.